Yeah. We back. Another
Yes,
Saturday
sir.
morning conversation. It's your man, Caveman, in the building.
DJ I Monkey.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Yo, first, before we go any further, I just need to take to apologize for last week's show. Started off a little squirrely. If it sounded like I was, talking from across the room instead of being on the microphones, it's because, my silly ass forgot to. Well, the mic was on. What I'll say is the mic was on, but we had a little bit of technical difficulties with the mics, and
It's the first time it's ever happened like that.
Well,
What are you talking about?
yeah,
It never happens like
it never happens that way. My bad.
Well,
It's not usually how it goes.
oh, well, we got the ill upgrade now.
Now, but so we upgraded the motherfucking mics.
Oh, yeah.
Now we got that real podcast
The Yeti
situation.
Blue label out.
We got the shout out to Blue microphones.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the Yeti label out.
Oh, yeah, they make some ill microphones.
Nice.
That's one thing I got to admit.
Yeah,
Especially for podcasting and shit like that.
for sure.
Label out.
Yeah, shout out to the homie Matt Cook, aka Scam Rock, over at the Guitar Center, putting it down with the ill deals. You want to go see? You need good deals on your DJ shit or your podcast shit or your music shit in general. Hit the Guitar Center up. Holla at my man Scam Rock.
Wait, wasn't that your old stomping grounds? Didn't you used to work there?
I did. It's one of the better jobs I had. You know what I mean? Well, that's a lie. It wasn't one of the better jobs I had, but it
It wasn't quite like Benny's.
yo, working for Benny's, that was like my second job.
Was it? I
Yeah,
thought
it was my
your
second
first.
job. Now my first job was at the Newport Creamery.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. If y'all got kids that's like 14, 15 years old and they ain't working, you failing.
Nah, come on, cut that up. My daughter's what? She's about to turn 16 on Monday. So.
She needs a job.
No, actually, she was working in the summertime. I'll give
All
her.
right, so at least she worked a little bit.
Yeah.
No, when I was 14, I had a little summer job. And then when I turned 15, I got like, as soon as I could work, 15, 16.
I didn't start working until I was 18, though. And my first job was working at the YMCA because, if anything, I was volunteering with them for the longest from like I think I was like 13 when I first started volunteering with them, 12, 13. And then I was doing a bunch of programs like in the summertime and everything. And then when I turned 18, that was like the first job I had. I don't know where I was getting money from, but I always had a little bit of coin in my pocket.
Right? So that's when allowance was a true thing, right?
Yeah, do people even give out allowance anymore? I know my kids was asking me for it. I was like, I pay child support. That's good enough.
Damn.
Nah. I do send money for like their dancing and other little programs that they sign up for. Like I gotta send money for their Halloween costumes, but that is what it is. But
Yeah, I don't know if the parents say, hey, let us know if you still do allowance. I mean, these kids don't do shit though for allowance. Like,
well, it's
just,
a
like,
sense of entitlement.
we used to be able to get allowance, but we used to have to actually do shit
the
for the money.
checklist of chores.
Yeah, right.
Did you sweep? Did you take out the
You take
trash?
the trash, do the laundry. What's your room look like? Ah, damn.
Yeah. Oh my
You
goodness.
just run in and push everything under the bed and then pull the
Yeah.
covers down to the floor so she can't see underneath and shit.
Yeah, well, what I used to do is I used to put a lot of shit in my sister's room. So that way it wasn't in my room. It was just in her room. So, like, if anything, she's like, why is all your stuff in my room? I'm like, my room's clean. I don't know where you're getting all my stuff from. But, shit.
The truth comes out.
Yeah, well, I love my sister and my brother. So, it is what it is. But being the middle child, you had to fight all the time. But you're the oldest, right?
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
Alright.
I'm the oldest of three.
Yeah, I'm the middle child. The first boy.
But nah, we had to fight, man. Like, well, me and my sister fought, but we were like,
No, y'all were pretty tight and like buddy. Like me and my sister, like my older sister. Well, I only have one sister, but like me and my sister, we used to fight all the time, and it used to be like real cutthroat. And then it got to the point where it would get like real nasty. But it's just one of them things. Like when you fight, you learn that all right, you know what? We have to direct. When you get older, you learn to direct that energy that we had to fight each other, and to fight people on the outside or fight the outside forces rather than fighting each other, and we're on the same team. So, even with my younger brother, well, I only have one brother,
Right.
But with my brother, it's the same thing, you know? Like, it's no sense of me fighting him anymore. It's like, oh, we fight together. You know? My father always tried to get us to be on the same team growing up. When we used to play football in University Heights, he always used to have to be on my team.
Damn.
Every time we played basketball, he always used to have to be on my team. So I'm like, damn, we always had the handicap where we had the half person, little Webster dude on our team. But now he's like Mr. Sports, Mr. Athlete, and it is what it is. It's good like that.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. Like, sometimes it's just what it is. I mean, I had a little sister, so I didn't really have those same situations. You know, like she didn't want to be on my team. You know what I mean? She didn't want to fuck with me really. Like,
she's a girl.
She was a girl. Like, so like growing up, like we really didn't like we didn't really.
Well, you know what? Nowadays you can't really say shit like that. She's a girl. Like, girls could do that too.
Yo, my sister didn't really want to like do the same shit I did though. Like, she had her own friends. She had her own things that she like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we swam on the same swim team, but like we swam different events. Like, it was never about like
no real overlap.
We was like we were like, and we're still kind of like, you know, we're like independent. You know what I'm saying? Like of each other, but we still a team. You know what I mean? Like it's always team us, but at the same time, like you wouldn't know that just by. Like, we got two different circles of friends and shit. Like, oh, shit.
Yeah, there's no real overlap.
And they'll be like, yo, that's your sister for real? I'll be like, yeah.
You know what, too? Like, it gets to a point where I don't want to have it be a complex, and it's not, because I'm comfortable with myself, but it's like, oh, that's your brother? Oh, yes, such and such brother? I'm like, yeah, I'm the other brother. And they're like, oh, that's that. I'm like, oh, jeez. Like, everybody knows me as either my brother's brother or my sister's brother. Like, they don't really know me for me because I don't really put myself out there like that. Like, I'm the low-key quiet guy where I feel like my brother and my sister, they take after my father who's very like outgoing. He's more flamboyant. He's a people person. That's my father. Like, my mother, she's the at-home person. Don't really want people to know her business, but she's taking care of business. That's kind of like what I take after is my mother in that sense. But nah, like it has to be a balance somewhere. Everybody can't be out there boyish, you know, sticking their chest out, peacocking the scene. But yeah, shout out to your sister, man.
Yeah, nah, for real. Like, just trying to get this mic shit rocking. You know what I'm saying? Like, we on a good level right now.
All right.
You know, we still we live. Technical difficulty solving motherfuckers right now. Like, we solving the microphone problems on the air, live.
Yeah, I'm on flown with it, seeing how that goes.
You know, so shit, what else is popping, man? It was a good week, man. We had these midterm elections.
Oh yeah. Tuesday, hopefully everybody was able to get out to vote, if anything, you know. Next 2 more years is the presidential election and primaries. So get out there and vote and, you know, not just go out and vote. Start to actually know what the issues are and what you want to be represented in your, not just community, but just for you in general. Because with a lot of the, I know locally, a lot of the bills that were passed, some of them shits are dumb expensive. It's like, where we getting all this money to pay for all this shit? But then people want to get mad about the cameras, right? Those cameras that are in the school zone, the speed cameras, catching people going 10 miles over the speed limit and charge for it. It's like, well, we got to fund these programs somehow. So, yeah, I can see that. Well, number one, I take the bus, so I'm not really any kind of threat, but you're driving in a residential area. One lady got mad that, number one, it was on a Saturday, that she got a ticket on a Saturday, and she was like, I shouldn't have gotten a ticket, or this camera shouldn't have been working on a Saturday because the school's closed. But then the thing is like, she was going like 90 miles an hour in a residential area. Like, even if you was on the highway, you'll be speeding. So, yeah, it's a good thing that you got a ticket to let you know that somebody's out here keeping an eye out on this kind of shit. Because how you can complain about getting a ticket for going 90 in a residential area?
You can't. You can't complain about that shit.
But the complaint is that the camera shouldn't have been on because it's a Saturday and the school is closed.
Yo, but you was doing 90.
Exactly.
I mean, I get the whole school camera shit. Like, this shit, like, really, like...
You gotta fund some of these programs somehow. You know, because if anything, like, Lord forbid they start actually prosecuting people for jaywalking. You know, and start giving out fines and tickets for jaywalking.
Yo, my thing is like this, though. I like that they adjusted the school cameras. Because at first, it was just a straight cash grab. Like, you was doing like 1 mile over.
Yeah.
And then,
it was
boom,
big money.
$100 ticket. At least now it's like 10 miles over.
Yep.
And it's only during school hours.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I think it's like until like 6 o'clock because it's like after school.
Yeah, after school programs and shit.
Because I saw somebody I saw somebody down the street over here when I went to the store. The light flashed, and it was like about like 6 o'clock, a little bit before 6. So it's like, yeah, you know, I can see that. But still, you shouldn't be doing like 70 miles an hour in a residential area, regardless if the school is closed. It's a Sunday, it's a holiday, whatever. Yo, people live here. Like,
90 miles an hour is reckless on the highway.
yo, for real.
Like, when I'm doing 90,
Yeah, it's straight ahead.
like, I'm
road.
only focused, like, on my NASCAR shit.
But
Hoping my car don't shake to little pieces and shit.
like I could see like if you're on like a long stretch of road, like down in the Carolinas, you know, like how you get that long stretch of road in the Carolinas. Like, yeah, I can see if you're doing 90, if you're just sitting in the middle of the road and just going straight.
Yo,
But
it's still
now,
reckless, though.
No, but if you're weaving in between traffic and like a car's in front of you, and then you swerve and then you go in front of them, like you're doing way too much. Like, but if
Or
you just
you
cruising,
driving. You know what I'm saying? You driving.
yeah,
And
but you're driving like you got a hot shit to take. Like,
Yeah, when I'm taking them long trips, man, I like to put the pedal down. So, like, but it's still reckless. You know what I mean? I still acknowledge the fact that when I'm doing 90, 95, 100 miles an hour, trying to get somewhere, that I'm being reckless.
yeah,
It's controlled recklessness, but in a residential area, that shit is also very absurd.
residential. Yeah,
Like,
on,
it's
on the
houses-
highway is more acceptable.
Little kids can run out between cars and shit.
Yeah.
Like, one of the most traumatizing experiences in my life is when I hit a dog.
Oh shit!
He just came out from between two parked cars right over there near the Wood Grain Studios. I hit a dog.
Oh, where?
Yeah.
Damn.
And he just like ran off into the wherever the fuck he went
Bitches with
to.
your car, dude. Is that what is that
I
what the
don't
pimp game
know,
come to?
Nah.
Is that what the pimp game come to? Hitting bitches with the car now? Nah, actually, you know what? One time we was on the highway and my father ended up hitting a dog. Like, number one, my father was like, number one, the fuck this dog doing in the middle of the highway? Number one. Number two, he was like, you know what? That's how you cause accidents if you go to swerve to avoid. He was like, look, it's either the dog or us. So he was like, fuck that bitch. And he hit the dog. I was like, oh. But I guess it was okay. It just limped off.
I mean, a deer hit me once. I didn't hit the deer. Well, technically, I guess I hit the deer. But again,
Well, it's a matter of
not,
perspective.
and this is where speed becomes your friend, right? So if not for the speed that I was going on my way to go get the big homie Carlos from the airport, shout out to Carlos. You should be listening at this point. Just sent him the link. He was like, send me the link. So I sent him the link.
Yep.
Hit a deer. Came out of nowhere. Cut across. Didn't get clipped by the truck. I hit it. Hit the windshield. Rolled down the car.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, like the whole car was just pushed in. Yeah, like you could see like all his body parts, like how they hit the car. Yo,
roadkill
easily.
dinner.
If I was going any slower, he would have ended up in my lap.
Smash burger.
Yeah, yo, I'd have had deer antlers in my face.
Uh,
I probably would still be fucked up. I probably still have like a hole in my chest or something.
oh, damn.
If I even would have made that shit. You know what I
Did you
mean?
keep the dip?
Nah.
Like, what you do with it?
Nah, because after I hit him, you know, he spun around a bunch of times, and then when he like got his bearings, he got smacked by another truck.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. It
Oh,
was
so
ugly.
is that other guy's responsibility now, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. We passed that off to the world.
yeah. Be like, you know what? You who that.
Right. That's for you, bro.
Yeah. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa.
It's Chris Mahana Kwanzaa.
Yeah. All of that. Yeah, man. Yeah, well, speaking of holidays, too. You know, Thanksgiving is right around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You got any plans for Thanksgiving?
Man, I cook every Thanksgiving, man. The spread is outrageous.
At your crib?
Yeah,
Everybody come to you, or you go to your mom's?
Nah, everybody comes to me, man. I'm cooking. I mean, but there was a time where I lived next door to my mom, so it wasn't like a far commute for her. But this year, we're still a little further up the road. But I only missed 1 year in the last like 5 or 6 where I didn't cook, and that's because I was in Detroit watching my Lions. I think they played the Eagles that year. They
Was that like
smashed
2 years
them.
ago, right?
More like 4 at this point, because my nephew was only like 13 and
Yeah,
14.
because I remember you was telling me about going out there with your nephew. That's why I thought it was 2 years ago. Oh shit, damn, 4 years ago?
Yeah, something like that, 3 or 4.
Damn.
Time flies, man.
For real?
It might have been 2 or 3. I feel like it was like 3 years ago, because I was here for last year. So probably about 3 years ago at this point.
But like, what's your main thing? Like, what do you cook?
I mean, I do the traditional spread, turkey, ham, stuffing, mac and cheese.
All right, what's your stuffing? What do you put in your stuffing? What makes your stuffing so special?
I mean, I'm making it. That's what makes my stuffing so special.
Oh,
and
from
realistically,
scratch? What, you go like get the breadcrumbs?
I get the
and all that?
breadcrumbs and everything, man. Like, I don't buy that stovetop shit, dog.
Nah.
Nah.
You're not making stovetop?
But I will say that the stuffing is the first thing that I tried to make from like scratch that I done like had to like do a couple times. Like the first year I did it.
You put celery in yours?
Nah. So the first year, So the first year I did it, right? I didn't put enough liquid in it, so it was like dry as shit at the top.
Wait, do you actually put your stuffing in the bird, or do you make it separate?
No, I make it separate.
All right.
Like the bird is the bird. That's a whole different science. It's a whole different science to me, because like.
But that's a whole different kind of stuffing too, a style of cooking.
Well,
Actually
yeah, when
having
you put the
stuffing
stuff
in the bird,
when you put the stuffing in the bird,
that's that Julia Child shit.
right? When you put the stuffing in the bird, to me, like it just doesn't taste as good, and you can't really do a lot with it once it's in the bird, and it's gonna taste a little bit like turkey.
All right, well,
And whatever you based it with, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's true.
I like
that's
my
true.
stuffing to have its own flavor, separate from the turkey.
All right.
I want a deep fried turkey so badly. I had deep fried turkey; it's delicious. But I also don't want to set my house on fire.
I prefer to have it than try to make it.
Yeah.
It's one of them things that I'll pay to have and be like, you know what? Fuck, I could do that shit at home. Nah. I'm going to go to the store and get that
thousands of people set their house on fire every fucking Thanksgiving.
That's why I'd rather go and get it rather than try to be at home and make it. Because you know how many times you go out and you be like, yo, I'm paying all this money for this shit? Yo, I could make this shit at home. Especially with me and you having our home ec skills from Nathan Bishop and Miss Bone.
Nathan Bishop, home economics.
Oh, shit. Miss Bone, shout out. Bone, 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 bone. You're the only home ec teacher with a full-grown goatee.
Yo, Miss Bone had a beard.
She had that taco meat on her neck.
Yo, she never shaved, yo. She had like the 5 o'clock shadow all the time. But she was mad cool, yo.
Oh, yeah,
she was mad cool.
cook.
She used to let us cook whatever we wanted.
Oh yeah,
and
stir fry was the shit.
Stir fry, and
then we had
she would always let us make Kool-Aid and shit. And that was for
being
in the 7th or 8th grade. Like
I remember we made strawberry shortcakes too.
Strawberry shortcakes, yeah.
Yeah, Miss Bone. But all right, wait, getting back to the stuffing though. All right, so
last year,
do you get fancy and put apples in yours?
Nah, man, I just stuff it, man. I don't fucking put walnuts and shit. What the fuck? I know I live in the suburbs, man, but I don't put all that shit on my stuffing. My stuffing is still urban.
You know you gotta put like a big sprig of thyme in it and have that as decoration.
Nah, actually, this year, last Thanksgiving, actually, I put brown sugar in my shit.
Did you? Yeah, stuffing?
Yeah, I put brown sugar in my stuffing, dog. Just a little bit. Just add a little bit of sweetness, different flavor. It was
Do you
delicious.
put mushrooms?
No, why? Who puts all that stuff in their stuffing?
No, I'm just throwing it out there.
Like, have you ever had stuffing with mushrooms in it, bro?
Yeah. But it was stovetop shits. It was the mushroom stovetop shits. That's what I'm asking you. I'm trying to think of like different shits that they had.
That's not a nah.
Yeah, because I know, like we kind of talked off mic. Well, I'm just trying to eliminate certain things that you don't put in your food, like.
Listen,
raisins.
don't put raisins in anything. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the recipe,
not even if they're golden.
No.
Currants.
If you look at the recipe, and the recipe calls for raisins, and it's not carrot cake, don't use that recipe.
Especially if you're going to a black family's house and you're carrying the dish. Because that's one way for them to talk about you in the background.
And it don't matter if you're white or if you're black or if you're Spanish. If you go into a black household on Thanksgiving, don't bring no fucked up dish because you will get roasted the fuck. They will roast you.
You know what though? Alright, so
especially if you got an old grandmother, she'll taste that shit and immediately be like, "This is the nastiest shit I ever had."
Yes, she'll have the napkin by
the napkin. She'll be like, "Who made this shit? Who made this? Who made the casserole?"
Yeah, and don't be the proud one to go, I did.
That's when somebody asks who made this, you're either about to get roasted, or they're gonna compliment the shit out of you. But it's all about tone of voice.
Yep.
If it starts with who made this? That's a roast.
Yep.
Don't even raise your hand.
The is the key.
But if it's like, yeah, right. If it's like, oh damn, who made this? Mm-hmm. That's probably gonna be a compliment.
Or like, ooh, who made this?
Yeah, right. You gotta listen for the tone of voice before you volunteer that answer.
Yeah, it's the precursor.
If you hear the negative, who made the casserole?
And see, the thing too is that, you know what? Don't be over eager to answer either way.
Nah.
All right.
You gotta wait for the second answer.
Yeah.
You're like, who made this casserole, man?
Yeah.
This shit tastes like dog shit. Then you're like,
yeah, like, yeah, for real. Who made this?
Right.
Like, don't answer.
Don't answer.
Yeah, go
like,
find yourself to the bathroom. Like, especially if you're in the middle of a conversation and you overhear it, and somebody's trying to now say, "Oh, I think she made it." Be like, look, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I gotta take a hot shit. I don't know, like, what's your excuse? But yeah, you gotta just find your way out of that room real quick.
Yo, somebody's gonna snitch you out anyway.
Oh yeah, somebody's gonna time you out.
Tina made that shit. Oh, yeah. I told her not to make it.
Yeah, because that looked like the bowl she borrowed from me and never gave back to me. Like, some hating that shit. Yeah, that looked like the bowl Tina borrowed from me and never gave back. Making that nasty ass potato salad with raisins.
Yo, the biggest rule I'm gonna give y'all for cooking on Thanksgiving, as someone who cooks on a regular basis, I know Iron Monkey cook on a regular basis.
I love to.
Dude be posting shit like, I made this loaf of bread today, and I'm like, yo, dude.
Yeah, the tiger bread. Oh hell yeah! I haven't made tiger bread in a long time.
Cook what you're good at. If you're not good at some shit, or you're like don't use Thanksgiving to test a new recipe.
No.
That's why we're talking about this now. It's November, whatever the fuck day it is, November 10th.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is the time to test whatever new recipes that you want to like cook that shit for your girl, for your boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah, try in small doses first.
Yeah, serve that shit to people at work. Bring it in. Because work people will eat anything you put out there for free. You know what I'm saying? But like, hey guys, I made everybody
lemon bars.
Lemon bars. Yeah, try them shits. And just see what the reaction is. You know what I mean?
These are vegan lemon bars. Let's see how they taste. And if everybody finds themselves to the bathroom and calling out the next day, you know not to bring that to the home.
Right. That's not a good recipe. That shit didn't work for you.
No, that's not meant for Thanksgiving. That's not meant for the family.
Like if you've never made greens before,
weekend at home.
If you've never made greens before, Thanksgiving is not the time to test out the following recipes. Greens.
Okay.
Don't make greens for the first time on Thanksgiving.
Nope.
Make them shits a couple times before if you're going to do it.
Collard greens and green beans.
Collard greens or green beans.
Like that green bean salad with the Frenches, the onion.
Mac and cheese.
All right.
You don't ever want to debut your mac and cheese at Thanksgiving.
And if you do, at least try to use quality ingredients like hog heads cheese.
No.
Hog heads cheese.
Don't
Label
do it. Label out.
Yeah. Hog heads cheese.
But I'm saying don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. If you ain't never made a mac and cheese before, you shouldn't just be like on like the Wednesday before Thanksgiving like, yo.
Nah.
I'm going to try to make this mac and cheese real quick. That's a bad idea. Because most likely it's not going to come out the way you like it.
Yeah, save it for like a Sunday dinner at home. So that way, and make it small doses.
Just make a small pan.
Yeah.
Give that shit to a couple people who you trust, who are going to tell you the right things.
Yeah.
You don't want to be like...
It tastes like you put a little bit too much rosemary in this shit.
Yeah, like, yo, what kind of cheese is this, yo? What is this? Like, what is this?
Is this that hog head cheese?
Are these Ritz crackers? Like, Oh, these saltines. Don't put saltines on your mac and cheese.
No.
That's just.
Saltines?
Yeah, like, listen.
Oh, pretzels. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, who puts pretzels on your mac and cheese?
Also, don't put vegetables in your mac and cheese. No peas, no carrots, none of that shit.
Yeah. Why carrots?
Listen, mac and cheese has a couple of different variations, right?
Kale.
It's like clam chowder or there's a bunch of shit that has variations of shit, right? So there's like the East Coast version and the Southern version and the West Coast version of a lot of shit. There's a couple different kinds of mac and cheese.
Don't put
there's
corn. Okay.
there's Velveeta.
Okay.
There's Kraft, which is basically like Velveeta, instant mac and cheese.
All right.
There's the mac and cheese that's not instant, where you make the pasta first and you melt the cheese down and you just drizzle it over so it looks like Velveeta, but it's like you made that shit at home.
Or you make like the home kind of cheese paste.
Yeah.
With your,
And then there's the baked mac and cheese
with the Gouda.
with the
Cracker Barrel.
4 or 5 cheeses and listen.
Yeah, because like if you go
Ask
if you
somebody.
go 4 cheese mac and cheese, all right. So if you go 4 cheese mac and cheese, what would be the 4 cheeses you would pick?
Yo, it depends, yo. I try to use different cheeses all the time.
No. You got to pick 4.
Main cheeses.
Yep.
I mean, you
What-
gotta.
what's your all star of cheeses? I don't know why we got into this.
I don't know how we
all-star
got here
cheeses.
either, because to me, all cheese kind of tastes the same.
Nah.
It's just different
All cheeses
consistencies.
are not created equal.
But you know, you gotta have like, I like a pepper jack. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
I like a sharp cheddar.
Sharp cheddar.
You
okay,
know,
I'm with you with that.
I like, what do you call it? Mozzarella.
Mozzarella. Okay.
You know,
So that's 3.
if I'm feeling real like hipstery, you could do it with a feta.
You're going
It's
feta?
gonna give
On
it a
your
different.
4 mac,
It's gonna
4
give it a
cheese?
different consistency. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes I just use straight American. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It just depends. Like that 4th cheese, I like to interchange
All right, I'm gonna blow.
to get a consistency. You know what I'm saying?
kind of blow your mind then. Cause I don't.
I don't really like stinky cheese,
All right, that's cool.
so I'm not really putting stinky cheese in my mac and cheese.
All right, that's all right. Not, so you're
You
not
know,
with
but a
that
feta.
full.
I do like regatta, but not really in the mac and cheese. That's more like lasagna.
Yeah,
but
and that's what I was just about to say too.
but it'll give it, like, even like with the feta, it'll give it a different consistency.
Yeah, because I actually had some mac and cheese the other day, and it had a little bit of that regatta cheese, but it had some other cheeses with it.
Yeah,
but the
regatta
was
cheeses.
just it had like the gooiness to it. So
Yeah.
like, for me, I would have to say regatta. And for like that curveball, I would go Gouda, sharp cheddar, and then shit, damn. I went in hot and
See, I
sweaty
like-
with the 3.
I like the pepper jack with the sharp cheddar.
not
Gives
really
it that
a pepper jack
zest.
guy.
Not a lot.
Yeah,
Not a lot. Just to like,
to give it a nice,
just a little kick
sweaty.
it a little bit.
All right, so you'll probably put like a quarter of that, like 1 part that compared to 2 parts of some other
Yeah.
shits. All right.
I'm not overpowering it with pepper jack.
Oh yeah,
just
that's not the main star.
just so that when you bite into it, you're like, this is good. Wait,
Alright. It's not Gladys Knight. It's the
nah,
Pips.
yeah. It's not even the pips. It's like the
The bass.
it's
the
like
bass
yeah,
player.
yeah. It's just like in the background. You know, you're like, damn. I don't know what's in this. What is this? What is zesty?
Oh, you know what it is? It's the triangle. The bing.
Yeah. You know, it's that thing
like I
that comes
said.
in like just for the hooks.
Yeah. I'll give you
know.
the pepper jack for that one. All right, that's cool. All right, so we covered mac and cheese. We covered stuffing.
Yeah, I mean, do your turkey right, man. Take your time with your turkey. Make sure your turkey's all the way thawed out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, take your time with your turkey. You know, actually give it attention. You know, I'm not gonna say play with it like a clip, but that's necessarily what you would have to do. You know, take your time, massage it. You know,
Oh, I make
spend focus on it.
I make sweet culinary love to my turkey.
Well, I don't know.
No.
In this new age, there's a lot of weird shit that floats around.
I make sweet culinary love to my turkey.
When you baste it.
When I give it a good seasoned massage. You know what I'm saying? And baste it.
Do
Put
you
the
use
fruit.
butter? Do you,
I do
do you use the Kerrygold butter? The
sometimes.
grass-fed butter?
Sometimes
Yeah. You see that's the thing with me and cooking.
If it fits into the budget, you know what I'm saying.
Alright.
But I use fruit. There's fruit in my turkey.
Fruit like orange.
I use an orange, a slice of orange, and I core an apple, and an onion.
Okay, all right.
And just shove that all up in the guts.
You don't really fuck with lemon?
I don't really like lemon. Yeah, plus, I want a sweeter taste. Yeah. And the onion is already gonna make it.
A red onion or
just
what?
A straight onion?
Spanish onion?
Just an onion.
You see how fancy I get with my shit?
See how fancy this guy over here.
Yeah. Not every onion is created equal. Like, that's the thing with me. Like, especially with the orange. But
whichever one is like got the red skin. Is that like a sweeter onion?
Yeah.
I'm not really hip on my onions.
That'll probably be more of a Spanish onion then.
Yeah, my lady know all about, like, she like finicky with shit. She's like 7 different kinds of lemons knowledge.
Yeah. Maya lemon. That's why I was saying not every lemon is created equal. A Maya lemon would work nice with a nice turkey, especially because it's not as tart, but it has like an orangey sweetness to it. So you get the orange and the lemon taste with it. Like that's the shit that I kind of fuck around with. But if I don't do it with the turkey, and I haven't really cooked the turkey because I usually go by my mother's house for Thanksgiving. But usually with a turkey like that, what I like to do with the leftovers with the turkey is make Kentucky hot browns. That's my shit to make.
What is it?
Kentucky hot brown. What it is it's an open face sandwich, right? Number one, you have Texas toast that you toast a little bit. Then you have slices of turkey on top of it. Thick cut bacon. Then you have a tomato. But then it's topped with a garlicky cheese sauce, like with what kind of cheese they use. Well, you can use any kind of cheese, but I usually use 2 cheeses, which would be a sharp cheddar, and probably if not a mozzarella. I don't really like mozzarella too much. I'll probably just do double cheddar, right, and then a little bit of Parmesan to give it a nice little hint, and then garlic and. Put that over the sandwich and put it in the oven for like 15 minutes at 350. Take it out and then eat it. Boom. Love it. Kentucky hot browns.
That sounds delicious.
It really is. Especially with the thick cut bacon. Then you get a nice like a steak tomato, and cut the tomato about like a 1/2 inch thick. You know, not too thick, not too thin, but thick enough that way. You could eat it like a meal. I love that shit. That's my favorite thing to do. That's probably my favorite thing about Thanksgiving is what to do with the leftovers.
Oh man, if there are leftovers, yeah, I've been actually pretty good at like cooking enough, but not so that my fridge is full of like Tupperware containers for like 9 weeks. Yeah, but you gotta save a little bit for the turkey sandwiches.
Yep.
You know. Mm-hmm. And the Thanksgiving sandwiches, which my nephews all love, they've already requested. Like they didn't even get plates last year. They just made Thanksgiving sandwiches with biscuits because I always make the big biscuits.
Oh, the big ass biscuits.
Yeah, the Grand's biscuits. I don't make biscuits from scratch because I'm not like a baker like that. But I just buy my joints.
To the biscuit scene with the bacon, yeah.
My mother makes cheddar biscuits. Those shits are delicious too.
Oh yes,
Lord. And like I said, my lady bakes, so maybe she'll bake us some biscuits this year, babe. Maybe. Shit, but we do Thanksgiving sandwiches with the cranberry sauce and the turkey and the stuffing, and the kids love that. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's simple, you know. And one Thanksgiving tradition that I actually have, and I've adopted this a long time ago, where I've noticed a lot of people like to eat until like. In Trinidad, what we call is eat your ass full, where it's like you can't really do anything. You're just sitting there and you can't, like you're scared to fart kind of shit. Like,
that's like called the itis.
Well, no,
that's how you get there.
No, well, you eat so much where it's like, yo, you're kind of scared to fart because you don't know if it's a fart or you gotta take a hot shit. Like you really, it's at that level of things where
I don't know if I've ever
you find yourself in the bathroom sitting on the toilet and it's like, oh, I just had to fart. Like I've seen that level of shit.
I don't know, man. We just eat, and then usually the game's on, and then usually there's some drinks flowing, and then there's sleep.
And you see, what I've done is that on Thanksgiving, I only eat 1 plate of food. Like, even if it's a nice big plate, I only have one plate of food, and I'm like, you know what? I'm thankful for this one plate. You know, I take a little bit of everything rather than just eat. That's my breakfast, that's my lunch, that's my dinner, and I take my time with that one plate of food. So when I'm done, it's like, you know what? I'm thankful for it. You know, rather than eating my ass full, I'm going to just eat this one plate, enjoy it throughout the day. That's just a little kind of tradition that I've had, kind of like with my birthday, where I don't like people celebrating me on my birthday. I celebrate my mother and father on my birthday. Like, I take them out to eat, because if it wasn't for them, there would be no me. It's just weird traditions that I have for myself that I don't really tell people about, but, you know, it is what it is.
I don't know. I mean, because I'm cooking, I just kind of, like, I pick. I don't like. I have like after everybody eats, then I have like a little bit of something. But I'm eating and picking and cooking and like I graze throughout the day. You know,
you just walk in the landscape. Take a berry from this tree.
Yeah.
Take a little potato salad.
Okay, the turkey's done. All right, we do the whole grace thing, and then you know. But I'm trying out because you're the chef. You gotta taste it to make sure the flavor right. All of that.
Not too salty.
Not too salty. Not too bland.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know too, like really and truly, like, and I've asked some people this. Ultimately, like, what kind of dinner would you prefer? Are you more of a Thanksgiving guy or more of an Easter guy? I'm more of an Easter dinner guy because number one,
kind of the same.
Well, kind of, but see, the only real difference is. On Easter, I like to do a leg of lamb. On Easter, like a nice leg of lamb.
Yeah, I mean, the different cooking holidays. It's like Christmas. We don't do a Christmas dinner. We do a Christmas breakfast.
You see, you see, everybody's like,
so everybody has their different traditions. You know, like by Christmas we don't open all the gifts anyway. So, because we start opening shit on Christmas Eve and we celebrate and drink eggnog and stay up till 6 and pass out. Or and then we get up in the morning. Nah, the Grinch, man.
Grinch?
Yeah, the new Grinch came out this weekend too. I want to go check that shit.
Is Elf in your rotation?
No, Elf is not in my rotation.
All right.
Not a huge fan.
Santa!
Not a huge fan. But yeah, man, that's your Thanksgiving, your pre-Thanksgiving advice from the two chefs, Chef Boyardees up in this mug.
Yeah, well, we'll probably post some stuff on the page as we roll out and get closer to Thanksgiving. We'll probably touch base at it.
Yeah, of course. We'll post some shit. And, you know, we got the Saturday after Thanksgiving, so we'll be recapping all the Thanksgiving Day games and all that.
Yeah.
But this last week was our midterm elections all over the country.
Oh, boy. Yep.
We're just going to touch briefly on this because, you know, we're not a political show.
Nope.
You know, occasionally we're going to talk politics. Very briefly. You know what I'm saying? We're going to bring in some political correspondents from time to time to also talk politics with us. But they're going to be more expert on what the fuck they're talking about because I ain't no political expert. I mean, I watch the news and I read what I read and I know how I make my informed decision.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change from the fuckery that happens all over the country.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
for elections.
Yeah, the Jedi mind trick is real out there, man.
You know, and then what I like more so than like the gear up to the election, because it's like, vote for me, this dude's an asshole. Vote for me, this dude sells drugs. Vote for me, this chick is a whore on the low. Used to be a stripper.
Vote for me if you want the answer.
Right. You know.
I got all the answers.
Vote this for change. If you want a new look, you know, fuck this guy. He didn't do enough, but I'm going to do it all. Which was what the last guy said.
Yeah, he didn't pass me the ball back in high school when we was playing pickup basketball.
You know, it was a lot of personal vendettas here in Rhode Island, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, boy.
A lot of, it was,
it was
you know, realistic, like, actually, I didn't even really see that many political commercials from everybody. So you could really tell who had the money and who didn't have the money in this election, because...
Or where they wanted to put their money.
Right.
You know, because one thing I saw too is that some people put the money towards in-game apps, advertisement. Like if I'm playing like Words with Friends and stuff, and I make a play, you know, they have like a little commercial that comes in, right? I saw some political ads that used to pop up. I'm not saying who, but some people wanted to use their money that way, and it was kind of a turn off to me. But it probably worked with some other people because as soon as that clock goes and I can X out of it, boop, I'm Xing out of that shit. Because me with them political ads, I wasn't really trying to hear it. Like, you can try to tell me and sell me on things, but looking at what you've done and what you have a tendency of doing, that is basically what I was voting on. And I'm an independent person, so if you're a Republican and you have ideals and program and sensible platform that I can get behind, yeah, all right, I'll vote with you. If you're a Democrat, yeah, same thing. I will vote with you. But I'm not going to blindly vote political lines like, all right, I'm only voting Democrat. I'm only voting Republican. Like, nah, I'm a free agent. So you got to make a sell to me every time. You can't just be like, yeah, you know what it is. You know, it's Team Yankees. You got to vote for me. Like, no, I don't. I don't. Like, shit. I'll go to the Mets.
You know, and of course, like, some of the people that are running and, like, you're like, damn, I know that guy. Is he really running for office? All right, cool. Let's see what he got to talk about. Mm-hmm. You know, if you got to talk about some good shit. But, like, I'm not the dude that's going to just vote for you just because you're my homie. You know what I'm saying? I think I said this before. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And if I was running, I would expect, I would expect all my friends to vote for me, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I wouldn't want them to vote for me if they didn't feel what I was saying.
Yeah. Well, and I don't want to give out no kind of hypothetical kind of scenarios, but let's say, let me give a hypothetical scenario, and it's of the outrageous. Let's say if you were about shooting squirrels, right? Again, a hypothetical, right? If that was part of your thing, like, you know what? Fuck these squirrels in my backyard. Fuck these squirrels in my attic. Yo, I'm about shooting squirrels. If that was your thing, like, and I'm like, yo, damn, you're coming off a little bit crazy with this squirrel shit. Like, nah, you should vote for me. You know, we boys and shit. You know, the squirrel thing is just one little thing that I said. You know, I'm on about other stuff, but, you know, forget about that squirrel shit. Like, stop bringing that shit up. Like, yeah, but still, dude, like,
right.
Like, this is your platform. Like, your bumper sticker got you out there with a rifle shooting squirrels like you Dick Cheney and shit. Like,
right. So, like, if you're not feeling that,
yeah,
like, I gotta be okay with you not voting for me.
Yeah, because you sticking your chest out for shooting squirrels. Like,
but I'm expecting you to vote for me.
Yeah.
And
but if like,
and you gonna have to lie to me and tell me you voted for me.
Nah.
But if you don't vote for me, I might understand after like.
Nah, I'm really like, yo, D man, you're gonna lose my vote on this squirrel shit, man. Like, I understand that's something that you believe in. I think you should work more about schools and infrastructure and healthcare and taxes.
But that's why you got to get a good team. And your team got to be able to tell you that.
Let that squirrel shit just be some like funny drunk shit at the bar shit. Like, you know what? If I get elected, I'm gonna make sure that we actually have people going in through chimneys, making sure there's no squirrel in chimneys. Like, damn, dude. Like, yo, this is some high man talk right now. Don't go on the campaign trail with this shit, dude. Like we smoking, we drinking, we chilling. Don't push your chest out with this shit, dude.
Yo, but it worked for Trump, though. You see, this is why you got to have a strong team. You got to have a team that's willing to give you these interventions. To tell you not to shoot the motherfucking squirrels. But
see, this is the thing, in short, about me and that guy. And I don't want to say his name too many times because of the whole Beetlejuice effect. But with Trump, it just shows, by comparison, look at the outstanding kind of character that you had to be as a black man to get voted as president. Like, it got to the point where he had to kind of disown his pastor because of what his pastor said. He had to back up and he had to prove that he was born in America. Like, he had to go through a lot of shit and show that, you know what? This black guy is actually a pretty cool black guy. Like, he's earned my vote. On the flip side, look at this piece of trash ass, fraudulent, flim-flam, scheming, fake school having, selling steaks and vodka and water at the same factory. Like, yo, this guy is so he's like, he's not even what you would consider second tier kind of classy. He's just, I'm rich and fuck it, I'm rich. You know I got morals because I got money. Yeah, no you don't. Because everybody knows about your shit going way back in the day with his practices as a landlord. People can see like how he treated contractors back in the day. People can see what he was talking about with the Central Park 5 or was it Central Park 6 shit, and how he was just a fraudulent guy. He's not top tier, as you would say, but again, it just shows by comparison what as a minority what you have to go through, and as a Caucasian, you don't really have to. You could just be basically average but rich and make it in America. You know? That being said, I'll just leave it at that. The guy's fraudulent. On every level. You know? How are you a conservative?
I don't know how we got.
How you an evangelist? And you've been married 3 times. But yet you're talking about family values, and isn't one of your child out of wedlock? Like, yo, this guy is so fraudulent. It's the pure Jedi mind tricks. It's like Star Wars. And for the simple fact that he's talking about trying to get a space military. Right? It's like, yo, this guy is really Palpatine from the Star Wars stories. Like, yo, this dude is pure comedy. Yo, this dude comes straight out of a comic book. I'm like, you can't write this story any better of like fraudulence being covered with smoke and mirrors. But
yeah, I don't know how we got here.
Yeah.
I was just going to talk briefly about the midterm elections, and that we just had a little bit of a meltdown.
Yeah,
it wasn't quite.
No, it wasn't a meltdown. It was more like, you know what? I was going downhill, and I started losing my traction. And rather than a walk down the hill, it started to become a jog down the hill.
It wasn't quite Herm Edwards.
Practice. Man, Herman was with the playoffs. Yep.
But so
yeah,
midterm elections. A lot of good shit happened. A lot of women
Yes.
got elected.
Yes.
The youngest woman or a person, Puerto Rican chick from the Bronx. Congrats to her. A lot of women got nominated for. A lot of black women got nominated for to be judges. In like Houston and Texas. So it was good. I think it was like the first openly gay dude one and trans person.
No, I don't think the trans one.
I don't know. I didn't really. I was paying, like I said, I don't pay super close attention.
I hope me just saying trans is not offensive, because I don't need that community coming after me, because that's not
That's
the
what.
smoke
That's,
that I'm looking for.
listen, that's how the news reported it. That's how I'm reporting it. Because
Yeah, but the news isn't always right. Like, if the news was saying niggas, like, doesn't mean that people can say niggas like so loosely.
touche.
So it's like Redskins. Like you can't tell me no, that's not offensive. But if I'm Native American, I say, you know what, that is offensive to me. Like, okay, if that's offensive to you, I must recognize it and not use it, right? Even though somebody else might say it, like, oh yeah, there's trans. Oh no, I'm cool with that. Nah, but there's one person that was offended by it, so you know what, I should respect that.
True. I'll give you that.
You know, so if I'm out of bounds, let me know and just use the term, because I know shim is one of those things I can't say, because I've been told don't say that. Don't call them shims. You know, it's him.
Yeah.
You know, don't call them shims. You know, we don't like that.
Yeah.
I respect that.
I try not to get too like just what do you want to be called? You tell me and I'll call you that.
Yeah, and
most of the time. I'm gonna call you by your name though.
Yeah, your mama call you Clay. I'm gonna call you Clay.
Yeah. So yesterday, November 9, was the 25th anniversary.
Oh yeah.
Of two of the greatest records to ever come out in the history of all of music. especially hip hop music.
Tribe
Called Quest. Dropped that. And the Wu-Tang album, the 36 Chambers.
Oh, yes.
Uh,
and you know what?
But which one to you, like which one, during that time, right, were you more Tribe or were you more on the Wu-Tang train? Because that seems to be like, it's like these two great albums. It'd be like if Biggie and Pac were born on the same day.
Well, all right. You know what it is? No, it's like, growing up, I was broken up into two camps. It was either you was in the Boys the Men camp and like that kind of slow jam kind of music, or you was in the Jodeci camp and like them kind of slow jam music, right? So, looking at Tribe Called Quest, they had a certain sound. Wu-Tang had a certain sound. All right, so at that time, I was more Tribe Called Quest because my name being Dawood already built into Wu-Tang. I was a little hesitant into just jumping into it because the first song that they had, Mystery of Chess Boxing, I wasn't really a big fan of that song. So I was like, you know what? Because they had a lot of groups coming out around that time that were like real whack.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of groups. So
like all those underground, like a lot of those, they sounded underground to me. Like,
yeah.
So a lot of those underground dudes, with the exception of like Lords of the Underground and Onyx, MOP.
Well, see,
but they didn't really sound like those dudes neither, you know. And at the time, I didn't really know what they were talking about because they were all on that like 5%er shit that I wasn't really on, and like Tribe was like feeding my hip hop. You know what I mean?
And you see, this is what it is. Tribe already had music beforehand, so you already knew what they were about. So when that album came out, you knew what you was getting into.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
So you knew the vibe with them. So that's why I bought into Tribe at that time because I knew what I was getting into, right? I based off track history. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I could just keep the train running. So initially, yeah, I went with them. With Wu, it took them a minute for me to actually be like, yo, I actually like this shit because I used to watch kung fu movies on Saturdays, right?
Right.
Because at the time too, actually when I was younger, it was on USA you'll get cartoons, you'll get wrestling, then you'll probably get like Pee Wee Herman or some shit, and then you get like a kung fu movie or a Godzilla movie. So that was my shit. So when I actually started listening more to them, when they started releasing more of their music, I'm like, you know what? This is my fucking shit. And their name is actually built into my name, right? So it's Dawood. So it's just easy for me to tell people, yeah, that's how you spell my name. Dawud. Dawood. Oh, like Wu-Tang? Yeah, like Wu-Tang. Rather than people calling me Dawood and putting O's in my name. You know, L's call me Dawood. I'm like, yeah, we could go other places with it. People call me Doug sometimes. I don't know how you get Doug from my name.
How the fuck do you get Doug?
I don't know, but somehow people get Doug from my name.
Like that's not even...
Yeah, even at work, I tell people call me D, right? But yet somehow they still call me Dave. I'm like, where'd Dave come from? Like,
how do you...
From D.
Dave is not even...
I don't know, but again, some people trip up. Rather than telling my real name, I'm like, yeah, just call me D. It makes everything easy. Hey D. Hey, all right, yeah, that's me. Yeah, all right. But either way, like, all that aside, like people fucking up my name, but with Wu, that's how I actually. And then as they started going on, Tribe, and that whole sound kind of got overpowered because that's when gangster rap was coming in.
Yeah.
So that whole sound wasn't really getting played on the radio as much. It wasn't getting much spin with the videos. It wasn't getting requested on Video Box and shit as much.
Yeah, so the box used to be the shit.
Because even during that era, that was the era with Grand Poobah. Fucking, what was the name of the group that Grand Poobah was with again? Damn. Brand Nubian.
Brand New.
Right? So that was the era with them. Then even with Big Daddy Kane, Heavy D, those type of rappers during that era, Monie Love, Queen Latifah.
Yeah, I mean, I never fucked with Wu too hard though. like even now, like I was really like only like the dudes that I like from Wu-Tang. Like I never really liked them. That's a lot. I liked them as a group, but I didn't really like. I preferred the solo projects better because as a group, it was always going to be a dude rapping that I didn't really like.
Well, why are you talking so much shit about you got off the rip, man? Yo, leave him alone, man.
Yo, I didn't say no names, man.
All right.
But his name might
Master
start with a, yeah.
All right. You know what? That's where the balance comes into play. Like in the video game, remember they had a video game for PlayStation back in the day?
No.
Yo.
Dude, I didn't have a PlayStation until I was like 25.
All right, you know what? There's that arcade place locally here that I'm going to have to hit up on some time off because they have every game that was ever made with PlayStation. So I'm going to find that Wu-Tang game and play that shit because they each had different style. Like Raekwon had the knees and the elbows.
Oh, I do remember that game. It was like Street. It was kind of like what was that? The Def Jam game.
Oh, Def Jam Vendetta?
Yeah.
Oh, that was my shit. Nah, Def Jam Vendetta was more like a boxing wrestling
Yeah.
game. Like the Wu-Tang game was more of a video game style.
Oh, was it? Then I don't remember it. I thought I remembered it, but I don't. You used to play so many hours of that Vendetta shit.
Oh, hell yes.
Like,
Yo, that Vendetta shit was the
you had
best shit.
your own little character and shit. You had to teach them how to fight.
Poke ass bitch. Getting cussed out by Ludacris. You get the message, boop, and you go and look at your thing, your little sidekick, and then you get a message, yo, when you gonna come to the gym and work out? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yo, that game was like before its time, man.
And then Snoop talking shit. Yo, think you gangster? Yo, come down here.
Yeah, they should re-release that shit. I wonder if it's on. They got that new little mini PlayStation coming out. It's not on there.
Nah, I checked. That was one of the first things I checked.
Gotta re-release that shit for PlayStation 4, 5, whatever number they're gonna be on in a couple of years.
Oh man, that's the one thing that I don't like about some of the because I don't have a PlayStation or a video game console because I'm of the age where it's like, look, I have so many things that I want to do with my life and things that I need to accomplish with my life. Like this kind of distraction, as welcoming as it could be, when I have downtime, like I'm watching videos or, you know, I'm looking at artwork or I'm cooking, I'm doing other shit rather than sitting there playing a video game.
Well, I mean, I have a PlayStation 4, but I've only played like 4 hours of that shit. Because it used to operate as a conduit for like Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like I was always using it, but it wasn't really to play games. I only got like 4 games. I play a lot of Gran Turismo, but I really don't even sit like my shit got this dusty. It's probably like an inch of dust on my PlayStation right now.
Do you play online with people?
No.
See, we're of the age where I remember when
I don't know what that's like.
Yo, remember how they used to have them video game magazines back in the day, like Nintendo Power and shit like that?
I remember them. Yeah, I never had them shits though.
But like, I remember I had like 1 or 2 issues. You know, like when you send in and you had that bill me later shit.
Right.
So they tried to bill me later. I'm like, nah, you know what? You could cancel my shit because I'm not paying you. So I had like, I remember when they used to talk about playing online and playing against people at different houses and shit like that. Now that's just common day shit, and it was like, I really have no appeal with that. Like when I'm playing Madden, I would rather just play against the computer and just go about my season.
Right.
Just,
I'm not ever trying to like
have conversation.
You can't talk to people like. Plus, that's not how I came up playing video games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just me playing. If we was playing with other people, they were in the same room.
Yeah, I remember when you used to come over to the house on Sundays, and my mother used to cook lasagna, and we'll play Tecmo Bowl in the room. And just like, yo, your mom done with the lasagna? I don't know. She'll call us when she's ready.
Like, he called your friends over to play. Now you don't even have to leave your house.
Yeah.
I don't know.
With no memory card. So it's like, yo, you had to start fresh.
Every time.
And then finish. Like, dinner's done. No, the game's not over yet.
Tecmo Bowl was like the first one that you could save your stats. That was like the first Super Tecmo Bowl.
Super Tecmo Bowl. Yeah.
And Baseball Stars. Remember Baseball Stars?
Oh, hell yeah. Yo. For
the younger folks, those video games for the Nintendo.
Oh yeah.
The original shit that y'all are buying the mini version of.
Where you actually have the cartridge and you just have
Yeah.
to put it underneath your shirt and blow the cartridge.
Blow and then use a second cartridge and then only put it in like 99% of the way because if you didn't,
wedge it
you
in.
gotta clip it and wedge it in there.
Yeah,
Don't.
because you don't want to be playing something like Zelda, and then all of a sudden it pops out a little bit, and then your
Shit.
game messes
The game ends with a
with no save.
fucking
Like,
somebody jumps in the other room and skips that shit.
oh my goodness. Your mother's vacuuming and hits the Nintendo. And it's your game that you left on overnight.
Yo, these kids will never know the struggle, man.
Oh man, and your mother hits it when she's vacuuming on a Saturday, and you're in the shower. Like, Ma, what are you doing? Oh, you messed it up. Wait, you're pulling up all my electricity. You should clean your own room.
Yo, did you listen to that new Styles P album?
Styles P. Nah, I haven't got to
Dimebag.
it. Dimebag. Nah, I haven't heard the whole thing yet.
Fucking incredible.
Wait, how many tracks on there?
Like 12.
12?
Maybe.
Alright.
Maybe 12.
He
This
got.
is worth every minute. Like, and I'm when it comes to the locks, like I'm more of a Jada fan. But the last two Styles projects that came out this year, actually,
You don't fucks with Jake.
both
Sheik
dope.
Luke?
Sheik, not really. Not really. I mean, he's good.
Yeah, Sheik's
but-
my dude. I like Sheik.
Then he don't never drop no music. Like, when the last Sheik album came out?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Silverback.
So, like, how can you, like, you ain't never dropping no new music, bro? Like, I don't even know if you're still nice. I mean, I saw you in concert like last year, so I know you're still nice, but
Yeah, honestly, I really don't follow him enough, like, to know what his hustle is right now. You know, he probably dropped like mixtapes.
oh, right.
Like not Instagram, but Dat Piff shits. You know,
Remember when
I don't know.
remember when your ear used to beat to the streets?
Back before the internet.
Yeah, back before the internet, we used to have to like actually. Even now though, like
I remember
we
the
just
one,
be
I remember
paying
the
attention.
One, I remember the one story that I knew about that nobody really knew about when it was when KRS-One beat up the dude from PM Dawn. Like people really didn't know about this. Like, yo, hey, you hear about this? I'm like, you ain't hear about that shit? It was just one of them things about being from New York and hanging out in New York in the summertime. Like,
Yo, but
you
we
just
used to
do certain
always
things.
like when you're younger, you care about that shit, like
Rap
all the
pages.
rap pages, all the fan shit. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get to be a little older, like around college age, you still like half follow it, but you don't follow it as intensely. Unless you're like a journalism major and you're trying to like
XXL and
write for a magazine or something.
Vibe and the Source.
Yeah. And then once you get like a job, you're like, man, I got time to be fucking following Kim Kardashian's life around. Nobody give a shit about her. Like,
Out of all people to name, how you need? Yeah, well, yeah, I guess that's the buzzword, but yeah, I guess.
you know, like the whole like following celebrities like dies after a while. Like you just don't give a shit.
Yeah, celebrity culture. Yeah, that should.
But we have a radio show or podcast, so we gonna be. I had to like immerse myself back into the celebrity gossip because it's just entertaining.
You think so? You know what? I mean,
It's like a train wreck. Or like a bad car crash, most of it. You're like, damn, that's fucked up.
no,
but you want to watch.
But you see, like
you
for
know,
me personally,
It's got to be like bestiality porn. Like, you just watch it, and you're like, this is gross. Why am I watching this? But you can't stop watching it because you're like, you have so many questions. It's like, what's the, what did I post the other day? The masturbation sweatpants.
oh no, I had a feeling we was gonna get around to this.
You know, I have so many questions.
You have questions, I don't. You see,
Questions.
yeah, you see, your inquiring mind would like to know. I'm of the nature that I'm good.
I just want, like, how do you not wash those? You gotta wash them.
See, these are questions that you need to be directing
Like,
towards the person that
why-
actually had the offense.
Why are you getting
Like
naked?
the original person that created the offense. These are questions that you need to be asking them. You're asking me these questions.
I'm posing them to the interweb verse.
Yeah.
Like the universe. Like, why? Like, as a person, when I see stuff on the internet that's like weird to me, I try to put myself in that situation.
Why?
Because
What you want to experience? Like, yo, what happens in your life to get
to this point?
To this point, okay.
Yeah, like what happened?
So that way you can avoid it.
It's like a lesson. Like what happened to this guy that he needed not one, but 2 pairs. I
didn't even click on the pictures. Like I saw what it was, and I read, and I was like, you know what? I really don't need to click on any more than this. Like I'm good. I did not click on the pictures. Like I saw it. I like you saw how it had like +3 in the little corner or whatever it was. I didn't click on the +3. I didn't need to know. Like my inquiring mind did not need to know. Because there's certain things that you cannot unsee.
Yeah, no, it's stuck. It's burned into my brain.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing that I learned from your mistake, and not click on the +3. You see how that works.
I'm educating people by putting that out there for the.
Sometimes
for the
you could jump into the water trying to save somebody, like head first, and try to swim out of it, and then you can't get out of it. Me, I'm like, yo, I'll throw the life raft, like I'll throw whatever else that can float. Make sure I'm standing there and like I got a good grip. That way I can pull you out of the water. But at this hour, at that temperature of the water, I'm not jumping in. I'm not jumping in that pool.
Listen, man, listen, my eyes burn. Everybody else's eyes had to burn too. That's why I shared the shit. But also, I was hoping that maybe someone would enlighten me on the lowness of your life. To be like, I'm gonna put on these masturbation sweatpants.
Well, okay, so
and masturbate in them again.
I'll tell you this, right?
Like, dog.
I'll tell you this. Back when I was going to college, right? My sister told me, all right, well, you need to get a science class. So this class would be a nice class, and it's an easy A. It's very simple. It's an easy class. Cool. What's the class? Signed up for it, went to it, and everything. Sitting in the class, I'm like, ew, this teacher's gross. Like, he was like one of them kind of characters that would be like a Jim Henson kind of puppet and slouching over and all that kind of vibe kind of way about himself. And now he starts talking. The class is human sexuality. Like, he's talking about some real nasty shit. I'm like, yo, I don't really want to know, like, and what gets into a person's mind, like, how did you get to this point that this became a turn on? This is the only way that you can finish. Like, what happened where traditional ways weren't for you? Right? So this guy's gross, and he's talking about sexual stuff, so it's not even a turn on. It's not even in the least.
That's probably why they hired him for the class.
Yeah, that's how he got hired. You can't have no sexy teacher talking about shit like, masturbation and clitoris and all this kind of stuff, and you're sitting there like, oh yeah, word? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But now it's this guy, you're like, Did
you learn something from it?
It's one of them classes, right, that I made sure I did not smoke before going to. Because, like, I would do it before my sociology class because, now I'm getting to deep thought. I'm getting to deep logic with this class. With my math class, easy. I could smoke and get into my math class. My English, I could do that. My public speaking class, I could do that. This class, nah. I gotta be stone sober before I go to that class, B.
I don't know, man.
But you and them perversions, I leave that with you. That's all you.
Listen, man. I got questions.
You got questions, and
I just want to understand, like and maybe because I don't like to not know, and I'm so grossed out by it. But I need to have a reason. I need to have more closure.
But
anyway, we're gonna keep it moving.
yeah. Well, let's do that.
Before we fall too far into this rabbit hole.
Yes. How about my Steelers, huh? How about my Steelers, my man? Showed up.
Dude,
I forgot to show you. Got some polo.
You can't even see.
Yeah, man. Like,
you can't even. I wish. One day we're gonna go video for this type of shit.
Yep.
This dude got on the the Steelers hat, you know, but it's like one of those limited edition joints
Steely
with the
McBean.
steel worker on it.
Steely McBeam, call him by his name.
Oh, that's his name, Steely McBean,
Holla at your boy.
on his hat. Then this dude like zipped open his sweater like Superman, and he got the Steelers patch over here, and they won like one game, dog.
Nah, they won 5 in a row, B.
5 in a row.
Give them their respect.
How come you don't give that same energy to your Giants though?
Because my Giants are playing for the, you know, they're winning. You know what? They're winning by losing. That's what the Giants are doing. So the Steelers are going one way. The Giants are going the other direction. They're trying to win the lottery.
This the type of fake fan shit.
They're trying to win the number one.
This is why you can't
pick.
be fans of more than one team in the same sport. Because now this dude over here beating his chest for the Steelers, but he don't even like to talk about his other squad.
No,
man.
I'll talk about the
You
Giants.
got to give your squad all the love.
No,
man.
I'll talk about the Giants. I'll stick my chest out for the Giants. Number one, they thought that they could buy an offensive line and have them gel in 1 year. Like, really and truly, it takes about 2 to 3 years for your offensive line to gel. That's what happened with the Dallas Cowboys. It got to a point where they had to start paying them, and things happened. Same thing with the Patriots. The Patriots, it took them a while for them to invest and hold their offensive line to develop. Because at first, when you really looked at it, Brady was a little bit more mobile than he is now. Because even though he's about 41 years old, back when he was about 35, he was a little bit more mobile and he could scramble out of the pocket, where it gives his offensive line some time to actually, learn. All right, you know what? This is where he's scrambling. Look, we need to shore up that hole. The difference is that with the Giants, Eli is so punch drunk at this point, he'll blink and he thinks the rush is in his face, even though the guy is 2 or 3 steps away from him, and he has a chance to just take one step up in the pocket and throw it, right? Either to Ingram, the tight end, you could throw it to Sterling Shepard in a slot, or you could bomb it down the field to Odell Beckham, or throw it to the flat to Barkley. But the thing is again, he's so punch drunk, he's not giving him his offensive line any kind of time. Like, if they're like, look, Eli, give us 4 seconds. Eli can't give him 4 seconds. Eli could barely give him 3. So that's the problem with them right now. But as time goes on, they will develop. They just have to stick to that thing, but they have to move from Eli. Like, their best bet was to move Eli the prior offseason that just passed, trade him down to Jacksonville and try to get some picks and try to move on from there. Go with a young quarterback, go with the rookie running back, and do something else. But the problem is Jacksonville ended up investing a lot of money in Blake Bortles, which kind of squeezed out that potential of a trade. So with the Giants, that's the way I kind of see them. But the defense, they have to get like another, if not LT, Lawrence Taylor, a Carl Banks, a Pepper Johnson. Like, they need like a Strahan, a Tuck, somebody as a linebacker to step up and be the captain of the team. Other than that, that's how I feel about my Giants. How about your Lions, though?
Well, it's the Lions, man. I called them at 8-8 this year. They'll be lucky to get there. Their schedule is favorable, but they got to play the Bears, I think, twice down the stretch, which is not a good look because the Bears' defense is crazy. But we'll see what they do this week.
You scared of Mitch Trubisky?
I like Mitch Trubisky. I think the Lions have a good squad, but their defense is going to be another year before they relearn that new scheme. And I'm sure.
Who's your coach again?
Matt Patricia. So he's probably trying to instill some of that Patriot way. They cutting dudes early for contract shit. That's why Tate is gone. So we'll see what happens with it. I got them at 8-8. So if they go like, right now they're 3-5. Well, maybe they'll win 4 more games.
With the Lions too, like how you like your running back?
Kerryon's a monster, but he's not getting the touches. So they got to figure that out too, because right now Riddick is taking his touches. You know what I mean? So it's they got some work to do. But they're the Lions.
Wait, don't they have Blunt too?
Yeah, I think he's hurt though again. Or some shit.
Get high Blunt.
But the Lions are the Lions, man. Like, as a Lions fan, you just hope that they don't go 0-16 again. and that they
Oh,
win on
yeah.
and that they win
Yeah, I
on
forgot about
Thanksgiving.
that.
You know what I mean? Please win on Thanksgiving because everybody's watching. You know, don't
So who you think is taking your division?
shit.
Because Green Bay look like they're on a fire sale, letting go.
Everybody's-
Everybody's.
Everybody's. I mean, realistically, man, see, it's probably going to be the Bears. Like Bears probably playing the best football right now. The Vikings, I think,
Better
is
than Minnesota.
Minnesota's they're winning, but they're not playing great football. Plus, they're banged up too. They're winning like
Yeah, but
I don't
you
even know
see,
how
they
they're
can
winning.
get healthy
They
towards
got
the end.
they got a better defense, so we'll see what happens. I don't really care if it ain't my Lions. I don't really care who takes the division, man. You know, I'm that guy. Like if when my team is out,
So
I'm out. I'm not watching any more football. You know what I mean?
with my Steelers, all right, getting back to them being number one in their division, you know, even though they had that tie early in the season against the Browns, who are actually better than
Still
people.
terrible.
No, they have more fight in them, even though they're still terrible. They have at least a junkyard dog fight in them,
They have 2 wins.
but they still have junkyard
Two
dog.
wins.
But they went to
And they
overtime
get-
4 times.
They get more turnovers than any other team in the NFL.
But they went to overtime 4 times. That shows that they actually have grit enough to hold on, even though they're losing in the end.
But how can you have that many turnovers? You created like they create more
Because they're
turnovers
still
than
young.
everybody else,
Because
and they
they're still
can't.
young.
Like, come on, man.
Because they're still young.
Oh well, maybe they'll be good at some point, but right now they're trash.
No, but you see, they're in my division,
And-
and you know that's like, come on now, really and truly, look at the division that the Patriots are in,
Also, it's a cupcake division, man.
right? Come on, like you got Miami,
They haven't been good since Dan Marino.
right? What's his name?
The Bills haven't been good since Jim Kelly.
Yeah, all right.
You know, you get a generational quarterback because remember when the Bills were really good,
Mm-hmm.
the Patriots were really trash, and when when the
Jets.
Dolphins were really good, you know what I mean.
And you see, this is what
There's
this-
only one good quarterback allowed in the NFC East at a time.
And you see what the NFC, the AFC East look like they're doing to compete with the Patriots right now is that they're getting their young quarterback, right? And they're
Yeah.
trying to, you know what? Brady only got about 2 or 3 more years. That's what they're banking on, right? So, all right, that'll give us about probably 2 or 3 years to develop our quarterback. So now we can
Yeah,
compete
but
against
Andrew
him.
Luck is up next.
Well, no, he's not in the AFC.
Oh,
East.
that's right. He's not in the East.
No, he's in the
Nah,
AFC
fuck him,
South.
man. But still, he's the next AFC. Like when Ben and them leave, like
You think so? Well, yeah, because
him and Mahomes.
Well, he'll be the elder statesman, and then Mahomes. But see, this is the thing with Mahomes. He's in his first year. It's what really happens in his second year, because when you look at a lot of quarterbacks, like
Like Dak.
the second,
But
year,
Dak was a bum coming in.
no, but Dak had a nice, solid first
But
year.
he was a bum. He did,
No,
but he
no,
got
no.
that. He had that.
RG3 had a good first year, right? Look at what happened the second year. Byron Leftwich had a very
Yeah.
good first year. What happened the second year?
Dak didn't have
Like,
those tools.
there's
That
a bunch of quarterbacks, though.
RG3 got hurt too easily. He was too fragile.
All right. Well, Josh Freeman for Tampa Bay, right? Look at even the guy that they have now, Jameson, right, with Tampa Bay.
You mean Fitzmagic? 'Cause
Well, now you see, right?
Jameis Winston's not playing football ever again.
But see, look, he had a good first year. They figured him out in the second year and the third year. Like he started Rocky and Fitzpatrick was there.
He's on my fantasy team, dog.
Is he?
Yeah,
know
picked him
what?
up on waivers.
You know what? Early in this year, right? No word of a lie. Earlier in this year, me and my lady, we went to go see a show at the Blue Note. We went to go see Sky Zoo, the rapper, right? Live at the Blue Note. Went backstage to, get autographs and dap him up and, shit like that. So, we're backstage and we're standing there and I'm like, yo, that's really that motherfucker. And I'm like, yo, this motherfucker's a real thief. Like, yo, this dude's like, yo, he's been stealing money from every team he's been going to. Like, he stole money from the Jets? Like, he stole money from...
He
like,
didn't steal the money though. They
No.
paid him.
All right, so...
They paid him. He signed the contract that they gave him. Like
So either way, like, he's standing there and I told my girl, like, yo, that's him. I didn't recognize that it was really him. Like, it didn't really sit in because I thought, like, he would have been out of the league. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker's a scrub. I'm like, yo, he could probably hear me. Like, let me talk a little bit lower. Like, you know what? Let me not talk no more about it because he could probably hear me. because I felt like I had that like hard whisper, like you could hear somebody talking about you,
Yeah.
and they're trying to be quiet about it, but they're not that quiet. So it's like I feel like this dude can hear me. Like, yo, this motherfucker's a real thief. Like, yo, this motherfucker stole so much motherfucking money. Like, he's one of them type of dudes that like a Troy Murphy in basketball. Like, yeah, he'll sign that big contract, and then when come time to play, poof, he ain't doing shit. He's like
but
the
he was
Austin
the
Crochet.
backup, though.
He's like the motherfucking Austin Crochet. Like, motherfucker, why he getting paid so much money for sitting on the bench for injuries? Like,
Because they know
like
what he
you got
can.
an ingrown toenail.
Because they know what he can do.
Sit on the bench.
Well, he's averaging like
Cash
400
check.
yards
Like,
a
come
game.
on. This motherfucker's the
Are you talking about Jameis? Or you talking about Fitzmagic?
Fitzpatrick. I'm not gonna call him Fitzmagic. Fitzpatrick.
Come on, man. He putting up numbers though.
Nah, he's like the Mike Dunleavy. Like, he's that dude that you know what? He'll put up numbers like the first couple of games, right? Be like, this is the guy. Easy, we got this. Then
I mean,
poof.
he ain't gonna win no like titles or nothing, but for regular season fantasy shit.
All right, so wait, is he like Trent?
And
Is he Trent Dilfer 2.0?
Nah.
Rex Grossman 2.0?
Who's the dude?
Nah, Rex Grossman 2.0.
Like,
because
he's like a poor man's
Brett
Kurt
Favre.
Warner.
Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
Somebody was trying to sell me on poor man Brett Favre. Was that you?
Nah. But
Yeah, that guy. But this is the whack thing. I have Deshaun Jackson and I have Godwin, the two receivers from Tampa on my
That's
team.
right.
On my fantasy team.
so you might as well just start calling him Fitzmagic
No,
too, buddy.
no, this is the whack thing. Yo, they're on my team just taking up space on my bench. I can't find any way for me to put them in the game. Like, I just can't. Like, I try to trade them. Nobody wants them. I'm like, I'm giving you 3 guys for 1 guy that's hurt. Like, come on. Like, I just want these guys off my team. And I feel like if I release them, y'all vultures would jump on them. Like, come on. Stop playing like you don't want them. You know you want them. You just don't want to trade me. Like, cut the bullshit, man. Come on.
Yeah. Hey, it's the magic of fantasy. But, yo, I think next week, join us. We were supposed to have the homie Maurice on, but he had to reschedule. So we'll have to get him back on the show at some point.
Right.
Next week is next week. We figure out what happens throughout the week. We'll probably do some movie reviews.
Oh, yeah.
We'll go see some movies and listen to some records. We'll start giving y'all opinions on shit. We'll really break down this Dimebag album. Take a listen, check it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, real quick with the movies. You watch that movie, Sorry to Bother You?
No, I'm not interested.
Yo, that movie is bugged out.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah,
you should watch it.
Yeah, maybe.
It's bugged out.
But yo, get with us next week, man.
Yep.
It's your man, Caveman.
And DJ I Am Monkey.
It's a Saturday morning conversation.
Yep.
We out.
Holla.